Hello my friends, HM here. Today I'm going to make a dessert. It's a very special dessert. It's probably one of my best. It's ice cream with Amarena cherries as well as Amaretto almond liquor in it and also roasted almonds in it. It's a very nice ice cream. I made the recipe and the process of making it all by myself, so it's you could say an original one. And if you dare to do it yourself at home, you would absolutely love it. Everyone I invite, they always want that ice cream. But let's see what the ingredients are. I have all the ingredients over here. Basically, I make a cream ice cream with eggs and cream and milk and also some potato flour to soften the ice cream up and make it smooth. Every ice cream has some sort of potato flour or other stuff that can make it stiffer in the consistency. Anyway, then we have these wonderful Amarena cherries that will come in, and we have this liquor, Amaretto, which is an almond liquor. And of course we have some baked almonds that will be chopped up and also get into it. But I have a very special process that involves glucose syrup here and also separating egg yolks and an egg white, so it will be foamy or airy. The ice will not be compact. It will be soft to the touch, even right out of the freezer. That's something I have found out how to do. I'd say if it has a resemblance of any types of ice cream, it would be Italian ice cream. It's a really nice ice cream. So let's get started with it. The first thing we do here is to get some eggs. And we need to make the base ice cream with eggs and sugar and cream and milk and this potato flour. So I need to separate these egg yolks, where we separate egg yolk and egg white. And everything will be heated, so there's no chance that a salmonella bacteria or anything from this egg will get into anybody's system and make them sick. So it's also very safe to use ordinary eggs. You don't need to have pasteurized eggs. How many eggs I'm going to use for this base ice cream? I'm using 4 eggs for 1 glass here. It's only the egg yolk I'm using 4 of those. The egg white I'm only using 2. And these are eggs that are medium to large size. But I will of course provide a recipe with the exact measures down below my video as always. Now, something I should have told you, I'll tell you now, is that I'm putting the egg whites up in this mixer bowl for my stand mixer, and it's because it's going to be whipped with smoking hot sugar that is melted to 118 degrees Celsius. Those egg whites are going right up here for that reason. Okay, I got my 4 eggs cracked, and let's see what else we are going to put in these pots here. I'll use my scale from now on. I need to put 250 grams of cream into this, and then an equal amount of milk, that's 500 grams. And then we need a large spoon here of potato flour to stiffen the ice cream. I will set it at 0 so we can see how much that is. That was 18 grams. I think we need 20 grams. And then we need 50 grams of sugar. That's not a lot of sugar, but there will be much more sugar in it later on when we whip this foam of egg and also sugar to make a very special foam that will put air into the ice. That's something I haven't seen others do, but I'm doing it, and it's one of the things that makes this ice cream unique. It's a really good way to get air into the ice cream. Now that one is actually done, and I'll put it over here on my stove because we have to heat it up while we are blending it to 90 degrees Celsius. Now we have to blend this, and without putting the heat on, I'm first mixing all the ingredients thoroughly. I don't know how much noise this makes. Anyway, we are blending. I'm turned on the heat here, and I'm starting out with a maximum heat because it has to go a little fast. And it's a good thing to have a temperature measurement here and take the temperature all the time. When you use potato flour for stiffening your ice cream, you don't want it to go over 90 degrees Celsius. I'll also get a measurement in Fahrenheit using this thing here, so I can tell you in a moment. But otherwise, we just keep going until it gets to 90 degrees Celsius, and then I'll stop it. Then it's done. Then it has to be cool, and I have to repeat the same thing with this other thing over here. But there are a few things I like to show you that happens to this when it heats up, because it changes quite a lot, and it also stiffens up, of course. We are halfway in terms of temperature, 50 degrees Celsius. Okay, now we are getting there. You can see it, a foam comes up. I can barely take that temperature. I take it off. And we also turn the heat down when this foam begins to form. I have to take the temperature not on the foam, but this foam will go away again. Here it happened. It went away again. It's just something funny that happens every single time. First a lot of foam forms and then it goes away. It's 73 degrees. Now I have turned down the temperature because I want to control it while it's approaching 90 degrees Celsius. See, it's 75 degrees Celsius, 166 degrees Fahrenheit. And all that foam there should more or less go away. We are almost there. 80 degrees Celsius, 177 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm putting up the maximum on this one now. It has to be blended well so it doesn't burn. Very close now. 85, 87. When I see 90, I stop. Short 90 here. Let's get 91. 91. We stop. This one is done. Now the first one here is done. And we basically repeat with the second one. But I'm not going to show you that because you got it. Now what will happen is I have to let this thing here cool down completely. And I'll put it in my refrigerator. And then we can do the next phase. And it's very important it's cooled down. You will ruin your ice cream if it's not cooled down when the next phase begins. Especially this. This is expensive stuff and you don't want to ruin that. And it will be ruined if you don't cool it down. So now I think I made my point clear. But I'll be back when it's all cooled down and we are ready to proceed to the next phase of making this ice cream. Okay, I'm back. I decided to go to bed and basically let my ice cream base cool in the refrigerator overnight. So here we are next day. And I have them out of my refrigerator, both of them here. But the next phase is that we have to put one of these things here in my ice cream machine. I only have space for one, so I can only do one pot here at a time. This is the thing I put into my ice cream machine and then it turns around while it cools the ice cream. I can tell you, if you want to make ice cream seriously, you need to have an electric ice cream machine that steers the thing around and also cools it. There's no way around it. I'd say the hardest problem would be to find a spot in your kitchen. But I have managed to find a spot over here in my kitchen for this machine. It's right down there. And my kitchen is not big, so I'm sure you can also find a spot for it. And the ice cream machine is not expensive. The one I have over here, you can see it, it's down here, and then you put it down here. It's super good and it's very basic. There's a start and shut button, and I think I paid $150 for it. That was it. It was at the low end of the scale. You can get ice cream machines that are far more expensive. But this one has made hundreds of ice creams for me, hundreds of these glasses here, and saved me a lot of money and also given me a lot of fun developing my own specialty ice cream. So I highly recommend getting an ice cream machine and start doing some ice creams. But this one is my ice cream with Amarena cherries, these beauties here. And I've taken a big glass of that and put up in a sieve in order to filter the cherry syrup away from the berries. And we're now going to put this cherry syrup equally into these two pots here. So let's remove the lids and start up my weight. I think it's actually 140 grams each from this glass, but I'm not counting on it. I'm putting first 100 grams in here. Yeah, that was 105. Let's get that to 0. So 105. That was 111. You know, I'm going to bring it to 140 because I think it's around there that it splits up. 145. And this one, get it to 0. It was 105, so 145 for the other one. That would be 40 more for this. Then we know that's 45. Okay, I think that's it. That would be 160 and get that to 0. So that was 145 plus Now it's 165 or something. Yeah, that's very close enough. There's about now 170 grams of this syrup here in each of them. That's good. Now we need to blend this. And maybe I should tell about getting to the right temperature. The thing that goes wrong if you take a hot ice mass from your stove and start pouring this syrup in is that the high acidity in this cherry syrup will start making a chemical reaction with the proteins of the milks and cream you have down here, and then it all separates and become a total mess, just like a hollandaise sauce or béarnaise sauce that goes wrong. You don't want that to happen, especially not with these pretty expensive cherries. It's $22 for one of these glasses, and then on sale here at Christmas time you can get them for half the price, $11. Anyway, we have to get it mixed. And the easiest way to do that is to blend it. But I'm blending it up now. Another thing why you should blend it is that when it cools, this ice cream mass stiffens, and then when you blend it, it will soften up again and have the right consistency. Right now it's too stiff, as you can see. I don't hope my microphone pick up too much of the noise from this, but I think we'll manage. Let's do it with the other one as well. And I'll just find my scraper here, this one, to scrape around here the edges. Be sure I get everything off. It's not a catastrophe if there's a clump or something in the ice cream, because the ice cream machine will also mix it when it moves this around, and it moves it around a lot of times, so it will be homogeneous. But you should definitely blend it before you put it in, because you don't want an ice cream with a consistency that has clumps or anything in it. Give this one another round. Okay, we're done with this machine here. It has been mixed, so time to pour it into my ice cream machine. And use the scraper here to get everything out of this precious ice cream mass. And you can see it has the right consistency now. Super nice for a melted ice cream, although we're not done with all the ingredients yet. Yeah, I think that's good enough. Now I cannot film my ice cream machine. I don't have a camera position for that, but I'll just put it in here. Put a lid on and turn it on. So now my ice cream is being cooled and blended. Okay, I'm back. I cleaned up my kitchen a little bit, and now it's time to the next phase here. We have to prepare a sugar foam to put into the ice to give it some sweetness and also some airiness and have the consistency become better. So for this I use 200 grams of sugar, ordinary sugar here. That's it. And then I use this glucose syrup. It's another kind of sugar, floating sugar, and I need 90 grams of that. So 290. It's a little hard to squeeze out here of this container. Let's see if there's 20 left in it. Here we go. And then finally I add a little bit of water. Just 30 grams of water. And then we need to boil it. And the next thing we need to do is to whip some egg white that I put aside. It's 4 egg whites, and I have them over here in this machine here. 4 egg whites down there, and we start whipping. And we also need to add a little bit of sugar to this whipping, just a little bit, like a teaspoon here. We did that right there. I'll put a little more speed to this. Now we go over here to see how my sugar is going. This is a little tricky because I have to time this. This sugar has to be heated to 118 degrees Celsius, and then it has to be poured into the whipped egg white. And it can go wrong. I have failed it a few times, but most of the times I get it right. So it's not that it's super easy. It has to be exactly that temperature. Another thing that can go wrong when you do this is that you're not using 100% egg white. If there's any egg yolk in it, it will fail. Just a tiny little bit of egg yolk in it and it will completely fail for some reason. That is a wonder to me why it will fail with just a little bit amount of egg yolk in it. Okay, it's heated up now. And let's take a measurement of the temperature and keep measurement of it. I think I'll put it over here in my smaller burner because we'll be there shortly. Let's take a measurement. It's 90 degrees, almost 200 degrees Fahrenheit. It's looking good. It's looking as it's supposed to do. I'm not risking that this cherry sauce will ruin it, so I'm going to pick a clean thing here for my spoon. 103 degrees Celsius, 220 degrees Fahrenheit. We are getting very close. Let's get over here. Okay, I'll need to put a little more speed on this machine here because we have to whip this up. We can only put the sugar in it when it has been whipped. And the sugar is ready in a few seconds here. Now it's 211 degrees, 230 degrees Fahrenheit. And it's bubbling a lot. That's right, because we put some water in it, and that water is coming out right now. And also helps to cool the sugar while I'm having the heat on. But when that water is out of the sugar, it will go very fast with the temperature increase. So what do we got now? We're very close to 118, 117, we are very close, 240. Let me see over here. I'll put this up to speed. In fact, I'm putting up to the maximum speed now because I want it to be done. Let's take it. This one, 218 degrees. Now I'm turning the heat down, 220. Let me see if I'm done over here. Yeah, I think I'm done. Now we start pouring in this hot sugar that got the right temperature. Just slowly. You don't want to cook the egg white completely. So you only put it down slowly. But it will be cooked and you have it at the highest speed on your machine. I hope that the noise from this machine is not ruining my sound. I don't yet have a camera position for this machine. I have the mounts for it, but not the camera. We just pour it slowly in. And I can feel the heat from this machine now because it's hot, this sugar, and this meringue foam here is getting hot. We are at the end here. That's it. Now I can take a temperature of this meringue. It's 43 degrees, 108 degrees Fahrenheit. You can also feel it down here. It's probably hotter than that. Anyway, I'm going away from this machine. Now that machine has to run for like 10 minutes and let this cream cool down while it's being whipped in the stand mixer. And then it's ready when it's cooled down. And then you can stop the machine. So that's it. I'll just take a look at it and also take a look at what's happening in my ice cream machine. My ice cream machine looks good. I think I'll check the camera out here and then I'll be ready when there's something more interesting happening. Okay, I'm back. I want to show you how to clean up this pot that had the hot sugar in it, because when you put water in it, then this sugar will go stiff and then it's almost impossible to get off. Take a lot of time, but I have a little trick to get it off the pan quickly. Let me show you. You simply take the pot here and fill it up with water, including the spoon that also had the sugar on it. And then you heat it up with water. Then the sugar will go off pretty quickly. So you basically put it to a boiling point. You can see that clump there of sugar. It's like that one I point out right there, and also over here. It's like lava that has solidified, and it's just not possible to get off quickly. The same with this thing here. We can also put that in just to get the sugar off. So that's what I wanted to show you. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. I have to do other stuff here quickly. I can see that my ice cream is getting harder. So it's time to put in some Amaretto that will soften it up a little bit. And it's also important for being able to serve the ice cream in a somewhat soft consistency right out of the freezer. Let me pour that in right now because it has to happen now. Unfortunately, I can't show you, but the consistency of my ice cream was like a thick, soft ice. And that's getting a little bit too cold, a little bit too stiff. Then it will harden up very quickly. So I put this in, which is full of alcohol that will soften it. And the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to chuck these almonds up. And there's also a little trick to that. These are roasted, skinned almonds, and you can see they're beautiful and brown. And you should use a bread knife to cut them. you should not use an ordinary knife. If you do that, the almonds will splinter around in your kitchen. So if you do it this way, they don't spring around as much. Even though these almonds have been roasted and they are hard and crispy and also caramelized inside out. I use for 1 glass, that's about 800 milliliter of ice cream, I use 30 grams of almond. Don't chop them up too finely because we want some almond pieces in the ice cream. Another thing that happens with these almonds when they're frozen down in the ice cream is they get even harder and even more crispy. So that's kind of delicious. And this one, Amaretto, is also an almond liquor. So it kind of fits that it also has almond in it. Well, I'll put this up, about half of it. The other half will go for the other ice cream. Okay, I'll now stuff these almonds into my ice cream. I will also take a few of these cherries and put into my ice cream. I don't want to use all of them, but I want a little bit of cherries in my ice cream so people can see there are these cherries in it. But otherwise, serve the ice cream, for instance, with French crepes that are hot, and then another glass of this so people can pour up some more of these delicious Amarena cherries on top of their ice cream. That's a great way to serve this ice cream. And perhaps also some more chopped almonds that people can put on top of the ice cream if they like. Okay, but I'll put these 10 or so cherries inside the ice cream as well. And now here's my whipped cream. And I've stopped this machine here because it's done. And there's success. Looks as it should. Let's liberate first some of this foam. The special thing about this is that the egg in this has been cooked and it can stay like this cream for a couple of days before it deteriorates. You can't do that with the ordinary whipped egg white. That will go bad in a few hours. Then it will start to disintegrate and be no good. But I plan to use all of it now in my ice cream. Funny enough, it's just sugar and egg white, but it tastes so good by itself, this cream here. If you have any children or something, then they'll love to lick this off. I'll do it off camera. But now it's also time to put this stuff here into my ice cream and have it blended in. And I can't film that, unfortunately, in the future. And look at how stiff it is. It's really some good stuff. This is my specialty. I haven't seen any other recipes of ice cream that uses this kind of cream here to put air into the ice and also sugar into the ice. And now I just fill it up so that this container of my ice cream machine is to the top. And I think we're done. It actually looks quite beautiful if you could see it. I can't get close enough. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, I need another camera mount for doing that. Okay, I'm back. I've cleaned up a little bit in my kitchen and it's time to take the ice cream out of my ice cream machine and put it into a container for storage in the freezer. It's over here, this ice cream machine. As you can hear, the noise from the ice cream machine is far less now because it's struggling to move around this whip for the ice cream because the ice cream is so frozen. Let's take a temperature. My ice cream machine says it's minus 26 degrees Celsius. Let's take a temperature with this thing here. It says minus 10.3 degrees Celsius. And Fahrenheit, that would be 12 Fahrenheit. And that's on the inside of the ice. The ice cream machine on the outer shell is minus 26. So anyway, I think it's time to take it up. But first, let's find the glass. And I'm not using a hot glass, of course. I'm using a frozen glass from the freezer. So I'll pick that up from my freezer. I pick up 2 frozen glasses, one that has a little bit in it because I know that one glass is not big enough to contain all the ice cream from this. And now it has almost stopped. I don't know if you can see it, it has almost stopped. It can barely power around anymore here. I stop the machine and take this up. It was just about the right time. It's at the coldest temperature possible, just before the machine simply cannot work on the ice cream anymore. Again, this is a little tricky. Now I have to liberate this. There's a lot of ice cream here and I want to liberate it down here. And to make less of a mess, maybe I should just liberate it down here in this pot. It has a bigger diameter, so the chance that I spill is less. That's actually a good idea. I've never done that before. But sometimes you just do things over and over again that are not optimal, but this is more optimal than trying to do it over a smaller diameter glass pot, then you spill more. I liberate as much as I can, and then off camera I'll lick the remainings of this thing, because this ice cream is just so fantastic. It's like angels flying around your head when you eat it. Okay, I think we are done here. And now we are ready with this. It's pretty cold. And then we pour down here. It's too cold for my fingers. I have to take a break here. I think I'm going to use this to protect myself a little bit from the cold. And you just pour it down. There's a lot of goodies in this, and I think that's about it for this glass. Now here we go. Lovely ice cream. Down here I have a rubber seal. First, we take a paper towel and clean the edge here. And then we see if did I spill anything on the side. Not that I can see. That was great. First time that happened, I didn't spill anything on the side, and that's because I put it all down here first before I converted it. But this one goes in the freezer. And then we have this other glass here that already has some of this ice cream in it. And let's fill that up as well. I have made 2 glasses yesterday. This is actually my 4th glass. I think I can fill up now. Yeah, it will be full. Yeah, and I guess the rest I will lick off camera. You know, let me take a spoon here and have a taste of this wonderful ice cream here. I have a cherry. It's worth all the effort, and you should really start making ice cream at home. This ice cream, hands down, is better than any ice cream I've ever tasted anywhere. But anyway, this is how you make ice cream at home, and I'll make many more ice cream videos because this is only one flavor. I have like 10 different, and I'll also get a better camera position to film these ice cream videos so you can see what is going on in that ice cream machine. That's it for now. Thank you for watching my video. I wish you a lovely life in freedom and democracy. Goodbye.